I think if you have a family member that's dealing with drug addiction, there's never going to be enough money. I mean, it's just, it's just so you, and I can just tell you from my dealing with it is that you don't, it's hard to understand it. I've never met anybody that got up and said, look, I'm anxious to become an addict. And it's horrible. So one thing you always try to do is try to invest the dollars in the state in the ways that you believe it's going to have an impact. I think that that's what the legislature did in this budget. So I'm optimistic. But what you have to do is, in all these things is especially when you're dealing with alcoholism, mental illness, all these things, you say, I'm going to try this and see what happens. If there was a silver bullet, we'd already done it. With regard to the database, we put a lot of effort into trying to do everything we can to make sure it's secure. There is the opportunity, we think, that it'll have a positive impact on reducing access to drugs by using the database, and that's our goal. But like with all databases, you just have to continue to invest the dollars to try to make them as secure as possible. Is there anything you want to add on this?
Yeah, in the package, Zach, is millions of dollars to harden and make sure that our database is secure and that it is effective. But keep in mind, it's been online and we haven't seen that so far without the infrastructure rebuild and protections. So I don't think we're going to see any of that with the PDMP. You're talking about physicians in the physician community that's checking it. So I think and to the governor's point, it will absolutely save lives. There's no question when you check and you know now, which we have not had to date, a physician looking at that database and saying, okay, the guy before me just got 3 more prescriptions down the road. He's not going to give those prescriptions. That's significant. And so we've taken all the steps necessary to protect the database, make sure it's secure, and at the same time we recognize the overwhelming impact it's going to have in fighting this opioid epidemic.